Welcome to the podcast that earned recognition first in 2019 and again in 2020 as one of the very best podcasts in the marketing research field. This is Research Business Daily Report. And because we can see you're watching us today, we ask that you please lend your support for our Research News video series. We'll tell you how you can do so at the end of today's video. I'm Bob Lederer, now in my 26th year as a respected voice in market research. We're continuing our themed RBDR reports on 2020 pandemic-driven changes in market research that have continued into 2021. And in some cases, they have actually gained momentum this year. And this year, I continue to refer to what we're experiencing as the still COVID era. Our opinionated expert today is Insight Consulting Managing Partner and Head of Insight Activation, Tom Ryuck. He's here to point out that, yes, there have been some research methodologies that have stuck, but the reality is that those have been really strongly driven by marketers who see the necessity to get closer to their consumers and customers, and the old ways of doing things just don't allow that right now. And that explains why online communities continue to thrive this year and to pop up where they did not exist in many places before. But Ryuck sees something even bigger that is sticking. Tom?
But the more interesting methodology that we have seen popping up, growing, is what we call at Insights Consulting Consumer Connect sessions. So literally sessions where a marketing person, an innovation person, a CX person is having a one-on-one conversation, digital conversation, Zoom-like call with a consumer or a customer. So very informal. The idea is not to do research or to have insights or results after the session. It's purely to immerse into the world of the consumer, the customer, to get closer to their lives, what is on their minds, how they feel. So it's really to gain more empathy. And we have seen that that is probably one of the new, if you want, unmet needs of lots of companies. Closing the empathy gap, as we call it. Of course, that has always been the case. Marketeers have always been a little bit too far away from their customers or consumers. A study from a couple of years ago says that marketing people on average see their consumers only twice a year. That's not a lot, and that's definitely not enough to build empathy, to really have a holistic understanding of how consumers live their lives, especially not when we know that most marketing people and innovation people and business people in general live in some kind of bubble. They very often have a different lifestyle than their average consumer. And I think the lockdowns have made that very clear. Not only was it impossible to see a consumer in real life, so they had to find new ways to do that. And they have seen that a Zoom call can be very interesting and also a very effective and efficient way of doing it. The lockdowns have also made clear that not everybody's situation is the same. I can imagine that marketing people, some even said to me like, "Oh, it was nice to be at home for a while and to step out of that rat race and the commuting and all those kind of things. And I had sometimes a pleasant time. But we have seen things on the news that for some people, for some consumers, lockdowns weren't pleasant at all. And I think that kind of difference between their lives, their lockdown, and the lockdown of some of their consumers made it clear to them that indeed they live in some kind of bubble and that they have more need in terms of connecting to consumers, and that they need to work on their empathy. And that's what we definitely see. We see a growing demand from lots of brands to do more of these consumer connect sessions to close that empathy gaps.
That is a wrap on today's Research Business Daily Report. As you may or may not know, the editorial goal of our RBDR series is to present you with news, insights, and commentary that you just won't find anywhere else. And we've got no doubt that you're going to find that to be the case if you check in with us regularly. And as you do so, your appreciation for what we are presenting, we assume, is going to grow. And as a result, we hope you'll consider becoming an RBDR Patreon supporter. In other words, somebody who continues to make a monthly contribution to continue our video series. One such person recently is Lucy.ai's Mary Beth Weber. We are proud to say became a Patreon supporter a little over a week ago. You can join her and others at patreon.com/RBDR, where you can make whatever commitment is comfortable and suitable for you. We hope that you have a good research day and that you'll be looking for us back here tomorrow. Until then, please stay safe.